Hello and welcome to Work Like a Girl, where we feature interesting women doing interesting work. My name is Angela Champ, and today I'm speaking with Christy Giba-Reese, who works as a product manager and has a mining engineering degree as well as a software engineering degree. Welcome.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Thank you. So you studied as a mining engineer. Tell me, what drew you to that field?
So the school I went to, engineering first year is general, and then you have to pick a stream.
Okay.
So I actually had chosen geological engineering because the study of rocks was really interesting to me. And during the summer it got disaccredited.
Oh.
So I ended up waffling between either electrical or computer or mining. And after our Phys 114 exam, I said, well, electrical and computer aren't for me, so I'll go with mining. And geological became reaccredited
Okay.
before the year started again, so I could have gone back.
Okay.
But I had learned enough about mining that I wanted to stay in it. It's a combination of geological, civil, electrical, computer,
Oh, wow.
mechanical. It encompasses it all.
So mining engineer is really a good discipline for people who love engineering and can't really decide which one they want to specialize in. You can do all of it.
In a lot of ways, yeah. It's very interesting like that.
And do mining engineers specialize in both above ground mines and below ground mines? Is it the same?
It depends on the school that you go to.
Okay.
So in my school, yes, both.
Okay.
Some schools, I believe University of Alberta only does, I want to say they only do above, but I can't recall. School was a little while ago.
Okay. You mentioned that computer engineering was not for you, but I noticed that you have software engineering in your background. So what drew you to software engineering?
Well, after I started doing my mining degree, we actually did some coding. It was very rudimentary coding back then. And I realized that I did enjoy it. So after I graduated, and I wasn't certain that I really wanted to work in the mining field, and I didn't understand the ability that you could work anywhere as an engineer, I went back to school to take the software engineering and got a diploma in that.
Okay, so how did what you learned in mining engineering in school as well as software engineering help you in your current role?
The main thing about engineering is you learn to learn.
Okay.
You learn how to structure things, as well as, obviously you learn formulas, but you learn how to use the formulas, how to understand them. So it's not so much what did you memorize, it's what little building blocks do you have that you can work on.
Okay. And you apply that then to your current role as a product manager?
I do. My current role is very new to me.
Okay.
So I had started out working in pumps for my company, and in the past year I've moved over to the product manager of our lubrication division. So I didn't know a whole lot about lubrication before I started, so I've had to learn quite a bit, and a lot of the stuff is stuff that, you know, kind of tweaks things that I learned when I was in school.
And as you said, engineering really teaches you how to learn, and so that experience probably helps you in what you're doing right now.
That's exactly it.
So you've got a really varied background, and in my experience too, in my career, I've noticed that there are very few female mining engineers and software engineers. Why do you think so few women pursue these as career options?
I think there are a couple reasons. I know that some of the women that I grew up with went to school for something like teaching or nursing because they wanted to have children.
Okay.
And so it was easy to take maternity leave and come back.
Okay.
I think that in the back of some people's minds, it's very difficult to leave and come back. It's not. Maybe it's a little challenging. My life's very, very busy right now. But it wasn't hard to come back.
So here in Alberta, where we are, we have a lot of oil and gas companies, even mining companies, although more so in other jurisdictions. And I know that they're really making an effort to be more family friendly so that women who choose to pursue those disciplines, whether it's an engineering or geologist, and want to take maternity leave can come back. Some of them offer flexible benefits, and of course legislation allows that. But I think there still is a misconception that if you want to have a family, that you need to be in a more traditionally female-oriented role because they may be more ahead of it in their what they allow for maternity leave and what's expected. But you're right, you can come back, and it's about learning and maybe relearning again.
Yeah, and if you look at a lot of those oil and gas companies, they actually benefit a lot from the female perspective.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more about that.
Women and men do think differently. Mm-hmm. We all know that. So whereas a man may look at a problem and say, this is the solution, a woman will, even if they're both engineers, a woman will look at the problem and say, maybe there's another way. But having both there together, collaborative, it
adds
does
a
make
richness to the
differences.
thinking.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay. So for those of us who don't know, tell us really briefly, what does a mining engineer do?
A mining engineer can do anything from mine planning.
Okay.
They can design mines. So if you're talking above ground mine with an open pit, they'll design the
Okay.
elevations, the different switchovers, switchbacks, all of those changes.
Okay.
Underground, they've got to work on the tunnels, the ventilation.
Oh.
Mining engineers can actually go on to take an explosives master's, and they can be explosives experts.
Wow.
So demolitions.
Oh my gosh. That's very, very not female oriented.
we did blasting labs on Saturdays,
Wow.
and it was a lot of fun.
You have to blow things up.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, a mining engineer can do any of that. They can run a mine site.
Mm-hmm.
They can do research. They can go into an environmental stream where they're working on changing regulations to make sure that carbon control, emission capture, all
Right.
of that's taken care of.
Wow, that sounds very robust.
It's very diverse.
Lots of options. And what about a software engineer? What does a software engineer do?
Same type of thing. You're planning. You have a computer scientist or a computer programmer, and they're the ones who do programs. Software engineer can also write the programs, but it's more the background. Here's the architecture for it.
Okay.
Here's the design of the database. You'll build it as well, but it's more of a project rather than just writing a code.
That's great. So you have a fantastic background in your education and in your career, and you mentioned that you have a role that's fairly new to you. Looking back now on all of that, what advice would you have for 15-year-old you?
For 15-year-old me, I would say have more faith in yourself. Mm-hmm. You do not need to work hard to make people like you.
Oh.
Just be genuine, and you know your education, so just have faith in yourself.
Don't you wish we all knew that when we were younger?
Yes.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So this series, Work Like a Girl, is really about inspiring and educating young girls, teachers, parents about the various career opportunities that are available to everybody, not just men and not just women. And so in the spirit of education, I love to ask people, do you have any nonfiction books that you like to recommend or give to people?
There are a few. One that I really would like to mention, it's actually called Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls.
Oh, this,
I'm
yes.
not sure if you've heard about it.
Somebody else recommended it. Yes,
It is
fantastic.
a wonderful little book. My daughter's only 2.5, but I still once in a while try to sit her down to read her a story.
Love it.
It does, and there are a few other books like that as well that just show what women are capable of.
I love it. There's not enough of that for sure.
I know. And there's another one called Humans of New York, which is a
Oh.
coffee table book.
Yes.
I love to give that as a gift.
Wonderful.
It's mainly photographs, but it has little snippets about people, and it's really interesting because you'll see a person and then it'll say what they're doing, and it shows that you probably guessed they'd be doing something that they weren't.
Right. I'm familiar with them too, and what I like about it is it changes your perception about people and your assumptions about just based on how they look, who they are, what they do. It also opens your eyes to some of the struggles that people have that maybe some of us thankfully don't have to go through. Well, this has been Work Like a Girl. Thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you again.
Thank you.